Barley, we generally use it in the form of soups, and even rice can also be taken. We generally prescribe barley being diuretic in nature. So that can really help you to flush out the complications to the kidney. So they can have it. Unless they have a very frequent urination, barley is advisable.
Question from Ishmael was saying the government should introduce herbal systems in the day-to-day lives of people.
Actually, we try to integrate the system, sir, but I'm not very sure whether they are taking initiatives in that. But as a part of Ayurveda, like we have a unit called Dravya Guna that deals only with this pharmacological component of whether it may be a diet or a compound medication. As an Ayurvedic scholar, we have to study about this. I'm not sure about they are integrating it in the school levels, but once it is a must that you need to know about that. So far, I can assure that when you enter into the undergrad level, this is must. You need to have the knowledge about that.
I think, what I see is I don't think the government encourages or does anything in favor of protecting herbal wealth in terms of passing the knowledge to the younger generation. I don't see it happening. Could you tell us if it is happening?
Yeah, that is true, ma'am. That because these are all some levels where we can try to prevent as a preventive aspect. Just don't even think about the cure. This is the one which I explained maybe like last 20-30 slides. The herbs, they are all mainly used for the prevention. So each and every of like at least one from the family is able to follow this, especially ladies or being mothers, they can prevent the whole family getting into a main disease. So for that, this knowledge is definitely essential. That is why there are n number of herbs which can help to reduce the diabetic level, but these are something which everyone can use. I have picked certain herbs only, but many of us don't follow it in the right way. For example, when I told methi, everyone has a habit of taking methi dried and powdered, but when you sprout it and then take, the effects are much more easy. So these are certain things which has to come from a doctor's experience only, and that comes only after a proper clinical experience. So integrating this in those school levels, I don't know whether the child can understand the scientific reasons behind these things, unless and until he knows the proper pathology behind the disease and the phytochemical component of the particular herb what we use. So it needs to understand how it helps to your body.
Every household had a moringa tree, had a fenugreek tree, curry leaves, had all these in the house. We have tulsi. Today, because of urbanization, because of nuclear family systems, because people are moving into apartments, they're losing this wealth of knowledge, they're losing this accessibility. However, governments today are very happily disposing government lands for giving freebies. Instead of doing that, if every community park has an Ayurvedic section, has a tree section, and every 3 kilometers, if there is a school which has a garden, the children are allowed to grow tulsi or aloe vera or a curry leaf. What happens is their relationship with nature, their relationship with plants, their trust with our herbal knowledge can be improved. The government has the capacity to do it. Today, schools in India, at least 90% of the schools neither have a playground nor a gardening. They are actually divorced from such situations. And it is definitely, the government definitely can do it if they have a balanced thought process. Today, because it is influenced by the colonial era, and the new generation which is opposing it are either going to the extreme other side rather than going with a balanced view and looking at what is good, what is not good, respect the diversity of the country, and then introduce valuable knowledge without hurting the sentiments of everybody. That balanced approach is not coming into our system.
It has to happen, but the proper measures has to be taken. Initiation has to begin, definitely.
Yeah. Next, our next question is from Ms. Prerna. My husband has type 2 diabetes since the age of 12-13. It was a side effect of some steroids given to the body for kidney issues. Can his diabetes be reversed? What measures should I take? My son is 11 months old. Is he prone to diabetes?
Yeah, first of all, once if he's into and complete insulin, we can reduce or taper the dosage. Ma'am, reversal may not be possible with the existing kidney issues, but with a strong diet and some internal medications. In first phase, he needs most of the classical preparations and herbal preparations initially. Once if it is under control, we can bring it only to the single herb therapy or a monotherapy like that. But reversal may not be possible on the initial phases. He may have to be monitored on a regular basis. And then once his body is responding very well to the kashayams and other things with the lifestyle and diet changes and all, it can be very well under control. Reversal, I doubt, and mainly the measures to be taken is the diet and lifestyle changes along with some herbal medications he need. And son is 11 months old. Is he prone to diabetes? I am not sure, because this was your husband had an impact only after an steroid intake. So this is not in his gene or anything like that. So the possibility of your son getting prone to diabetic may be very less. So but still, to be on the safer side, try to inculcate certain herbs and those amla juice and all. Definitely you can start giving either it in the form of a powder or juice or something like that.
Ma'am, you were suggesting some rices and all. My husband has diabetes and I've been giving him millets. What is your take on that?
Yeah, millets are equally good, ma'am, but I just made it a point to mention the type of the rice, because commonly they use brown rice. Instead of the white rice, we prescribe, okay, you can have brown rice. But I just wanted people to know there are other rices like black rice, red rice, which are equally potent compared to brown rice. So that is equally good. Millets are fine. Based on the digestion, definitely you can have. They have a very low glycemic index. Yeah.
Barley has gluten.
Yeah.
Muska is asking this question. Can you still have it?
Yeah, barley, we generally use it in the form of soups, and even rice can also be taken. We generally prescribe barley being diuretic in nature. So that can really help you to flush out the complications to the kidney. So they can have it. Unless they have a very frequent urination, barley is advisable.
Another question from Mr. Arnab Guha. Are all these herbs synergistic with each other, or are there any anti-compatibility issues as well?
These herbs, sir, they help you in the initial phases. And as I told you, ginger and turmeric, they can be, there are certain proportions in combinations also. Like not everything can be synergetic, and not everything can be anti-compatible also. I will give you a few examples for both the synergy and anti-synergy. This concept of golden milk, right? In COVID-19, everyone has started taking golden milk. That is a glass of milk with a pinch of turmeric and a pinch of pepper to that. The acumen of this turmeric is enhanced by the piperine of this black pepper. So when you have it, have this golden milk along with the black pepper, the efficacy is more compared to the normal milk with a pinch of turmeric. So it overrules or enhances the benefits of the absorption to the body. So there the synergy works very well. But in certain cases of say you take aloe vera, it is good for the diabetic value, to reduce your diabetic value and excess heat in the body. But when a patient with an irritable bowel syndrome and high diabetic value, if he tends to take aloe vera, it may be an anti-compatible to him. So first he needs to be very cautious about his metabolic disorders. and then try to rule out the diabetes also. And one more thing, for example, if an patient, for example, maybe a young aged girl with a higher diabetic value and also a heavy period issue or a heavy menstrual cycle, we can't prescribe the preparations with horse gram because that may aggravate the associated complaint like heavy bleeding. In that case, the horse gram may be anti-corruptible. It can help her to reduce the weight, also the diabetic complications. But the associated complaint like a heavy period may aggravate by taking the horse gram. So we have to just see to the associated complaint and the digestion along with the metabolism of the patient before we go into such combinations also.